Welcome to the Grand Finals of October Cup here at ESL. We have WildPlay playing Crackheads, a rematch of the winner bracket finals. Because this is the Grand Finals and WildPlay has came from the winner bracket, WildPlay will have a one map advantage in this best of three. So that will mean that WildPlay will need one map to win and Crackheads will need two. Today with me I have a couple of people spectating with me and possibly shoutcasting. Dirty Bug.
Hello.
And Wolf.
Hello.
And Tappy.
Hello.
Alright, very good. So we will get this started as soon as we pick the first map. The maps to pick from are Cannon and Hammer, which is a nice change because we haven't seen those map picks in these this past games of ESL. So it looks like we're going to start on Cannon, and we will await the first half. Alright, so we're about to start this first half first map. Crackheads opting to start on the NRF side, so defense, and WildPlay going to be on attack. Being that it's Cannon, there tends to be lots of fast pushes, so this should be an exciting map to see. Looks like the map has successfully loaded, so we're going to see a WildPlay rush here. Looks like they are opting to go hard one. C4 also going into the one site. Area taking out Super Cake on the defense as Explo looking to get some picks as Mr. Gold takes out Explo but also takes out Quelly in the process. Mr. Gold holding down one side very well as he takes out another person on the WildPlay team. Kimpa finally taking out Nakas, but not Gold, and Epi coming in and taking out the one side defender as C4 is about to be set. Elk being extremely lit. Kimpa throwing in a nade, trying to soften him up as it's a 2v2 situation. Elk extremely lit, about to run into Kimpa here, but Kimpa getting the better half of that. Elk going down. 1v2 situation as they started getting some crossfire. Kimpa coming in, trying to take Epi, finally taking him down. Lots of time left on the defuse, and they will get this defuse as Crackheads will come out with the first round.
Charge defuse. Operation success. Turn to main base.
It was a nice retake from Crackheads.
Yeah, nice retake. Great composer by Kimpahan side.
Once again, Wild's putting a lot of stress on first bomb side, while Nakas will try to flank them by going to the generator. But he seems to get back. Now he's just waiting for WildPlay to get a pick and then the action will start. Crackheads is not peeking, they're playing with just two guys inside one, but not peeking. Super Cake is coming to the base, let's see if he can get killed. Throwing some nades and letting up south. Kimpa is coming to the flank from the base. I'm not sure if WildPlay knows this. And with the pick, they're pushing in. Gold by himself. He gets taken down, so it's a 4-1. And Nakas takes down Kimpa, and so they take the round.
It seems very odd that Kimpa actually missed 2 shots on that flank kill.
You don't see that too often.
Looks like WildPlay is deciding to do another fast one push here again. As they're starting to come into the one side here. Elk taking out Kimpa. That's going to be a big help to WildPlay as WildPlay starting to get swarmed on the one side. Super Cake trying to hold out the barrels, getting taken out by a crossfire here. Epi taking out Super Cake. And it looks like they're going to get a free set as Sipes is going a 1v4 situation, trying to take out Epi. Explode. Being successful in doing that, taking out Epi as well, but unable to answer to Nakaz as Nakaz takes him out, making it a 2-1 in favor of WildPlay.
This time WildPlay, all the rifles going towards 2, Zelk towards 1. They're just playing slow, trying to get some distraction on 1. Looks like Crackheads decided to stack up 1, so this might turn out very well for WildPlay. If they can take out Size, they can take spot. Size getting a double kill. Gets taken down by Explo, but they're not pushing forward. Instead they are flying back while Crackheads is rotating over to 2. Over the base, Selk 1 connector watching the rotate.
Very unfortunate for WildPlay as they probably had the 2 side if they pushed in.
Crackheads is spreading out again. Looks like they know that WildPlay is going to 1. Zelk is pushing up the middle, trying to get to their base, while Epi and Explo are getting ready to push 1. Epi and Explo are both low HP, so they have to be careful on what they do.
Elk actually got spotted in that mid, so he fell back.
Grenade!
And Super K getting a double kill and winning the round for his team.
Your efforts are commended.
So that'll tie the game up here as it's 2-2. Looks like it's going to be another fast push towards 1. The scope leading off, making sure that inside track is clear. Going to be lots of nades and smokes going down on one side, as seems to be only 2 defenders on the one side. Looks like they didn't want to fall for that fake again, as smokes are going down at the entrances of 1. Looks like the rifles are getting into position to push that one side. And Naka is trying to get that flank kill, takes out Gold, and Sipes answering back. Super Cake taking out the 1 push here, as they are successfully holding it down. Kimpa getting the pick on Elk on the flank, and it's going to be another kill for Kimpa as he takes the lead for Crackheads 3-2.
Explo decided to take appointments, so I guess we're going to have a fast push. Zalk taking out the scope. And as I said, they are pushing hard. Explo trying to backstab Gold and Size, while Ariatex and Nakas are pushing, and Explo takes them both down. Very well played. Blitz up Super Cake and then dies. The C4 is down, happy with the flank on Super Cake. And now Quelly by himself against 4 guys. He's trying to come from 2 connector, meeting IP. And he gets taken down by Epi.
It's not enough bullets.
By Nakas and IP.
It's not enough bullets.
It's MK3, man.
Looks like WildPlay is starting another fast 1 push here. As Super Cake, Quelly, and Gold are over at the 1 site, trying to prepare for this fast WildPlay push as Elk takes out Super Cake on the outside track. Mr. Gold just running around with the pistol, but takes out the scope in the process. Kimpa trying to work some picks off the balcony as Sipes is coming over for help. Not enough to save Kimpa as Area takes him out. Sipes is on a 1v3 situation and takes out 1, trying to answer to the second, getting some crossfire, takes out Nakas as well, extremely lit. Looks like he's a 1 hit away from dying, trying to take out the Explo as he's on radar now. Both of them are on radar, and Explo capitalizing on that and taking out Sipes. So for another fast play for WildPlay working out in their favor as they take it 4-3.
Once again, Explo is playing Appointment. He's pushing alone towards 2, probably to make some distraction while they're working towards 1 slowly. Erratics is pushing towards connector 2. And at 1, a lot of gunfire, Supercake with double kill. Leaving Supercake 1 versus 3. All guys going towards 1. They know Supercake is at base, so they will just go to plant it most likely.
Supercake's extremely lit, 1 hit away from dying.
Now they know 100% sure where he is, and Zalk takes him down.
Alk with the overkill, they could have thrown a paper clip at Supercake and he would have died. Taking that lead 5-3 for WildPlay. Looks like they're gonna have 3 defenders on 1 as Kimpa is deciding to stay on the one side, taking out Explo.
It was a pretty nice quick scope on Explo there.
They are rotating faster too now.
Well, they're trying to avoid that Kimpa scope as they know that's one of the strongest forces on the Crackhead team. Elk looking at mid as Supercake takes out Nakaz. 2v3 situation as C4 is into the 2 connector with Elk still up. Gonna get picked off here. No, he's gonna be able to run away. Kimpa taking out Epi as it's 1v3 now. Elk in a bad position. Getting nade called. Looks like he's gonna be running to Supercake but takes him out. Kimpa playing very passive, doesn't want to get picked as he knows it is a 1v2 situation. Elk stuck in an awkward position. Lots of entryways into that mid. He's going to be able to pick up C4 here. Sipes is going to hear that pickup, so Kimpa actually, he doesn't get called up by Sipes. Sipes knew where Elk was, but didn't call it up for Kimpa. Sipes will take out Elk extremely easily and make the game a little closer of 5-4.
Sipes is playing very well, getting a lot of rounds for his team.
Yeah,
he's been over already.
Making a difference.
And the distraction of Explo worked. Crackheads is rotating, and now 1 is clear. If the support goes down, they're kind of screwed. Quelly's going down as well. Zalk takes out Supercake. Kimpa with the double kill in mid, but gets taken out by Erratics, leaving Sipes alone. Now Zalk just have to pick up the C4. But Epi takes down Sipes, and that's the end of the first half.
So 6-4 in favor of WildPlay, knowing that they only need to win 1 more half in order to take this grand final, as they do have a 1-map advantage coming from the winner bracket. Just got to take 5 rounds on the defense side of this map and they will have the grand finals under their belt. That was a great distraction by Explo though. It baited them all the way over to 2 and had them rotating through the base before they started pushing into the 1 site. Well played by WildPlay. So we'll see how Crackheads answers to this fast WildPlay. So we start the second half in the first map. WildPlay starting on defenses, keeping Elk on the scope and Kimpa as the scope as well. Looks like they are splitting up. They are not doing a fast push. Probably going to be trying to work some picks on the 1 site. As Explo is coming out of the outside track, trying to get some picks, lighting up Supercake and Mr. Gold there, but getting lit up in the process. Elk looking to take out some people as he takes out Supercake on the inside track. Mr. Gold falling back a bit. Elk taking out Quelly as he tried to do the flank there, as he's going to run into Kimpa here in just a moment as Kimpa takes him out. Looks like Kimpa trying to take some work into the 2 connector as the C4 is still down. It's a 3v4 situation and Kimpa make it a 3v3 now. Nakaz with a nice one-shot on Mr. Gold on the 1 side as Kimpa falls back to go grab C4. Sipes is on the 2 side stairs trying to get some picks inside 2. I'm not sure if he knows if there's actually 1 person on 2 or if there's 2 people on 2. Nevertheless, Kimpa is going to be coming over to help Sipes on 2 site. Epi taking out Sipes as it's a 1v3 situation. Kimpa with the C4. Also full health and full armor. is known to be extremely dangerous with that scope. So we'll see what happens here for him, as he's going off against some people that are pretty much full HP and full armor, with the exception of one person. Kempa going to be creeping up on this 2 site. Going to be meeting up with Epi here.
Oh, they are really close to meet.
Nice pick by Kempa, as he's going to get the free set on 2. 1v2 situation, still full health and full armor. Needs to pick this one side to know that the other one, the second person is going to be on the other side most likely, and gets it. Naka is going down. 1v1 situation versus Expo. And Kempa with the 1v3 clutch. Very nice. Well played by Kempa as he takes down the WildPlay 1 by 1.
Wow, just amazing round by Kempa. Just amazing.
And
Looks
Kempa.
Crackheads is doing same strat again. 3 to 1, 2 to 2. Kempa watching over the middle. They're all playing very cautious because they don't want to get picked off. Crackheads always play slows, it's what they know of. Kempa stays at base watching over that mid, so that 3 rivals can try to push on 1.
Notice they are starting to throw a lot of defensive smokes down, trying not to get picked by Kempa.
And Kempa is moving towards 1 because the rifles can't get a pick. He's dropping C4 and will probably... Some gunfire is going off, but nobody gets killed, so they're kinda stuck. Naka's taking down Quelly, and Aerotix takes down Supercake. Siv's taking down the scope. And looks like Crackheads is Siv's with a kill on Aerotix. I'm not sure if they know if C4 down on 2, while WildPlay is rotating over. Naka takes out Siv's, so it's a 2v2. They will push him now. Naka takes down Gold, leaving him alone. He's on map, so they can see that he's falling back. He's just running towards 1. I think
Kempa's got enough time to do this.
Yeah, he will make it. C4 is going down. Naka's and Epi rotating over. Let's see if he can clutch it. He misses the shot. Very unfortunate for him, and the bomb will be defused.
Well, WildPlay with lots of pre-fire. Exactly what you gotta do on Kempa to get the 1-up on him. The game is evened up here at 1-1. Remember, WildPlay only needs 5 rounds to take this grand final, as they are actually 1 map ahead coming out of the winner bracket. Looks like they are going to be doing a fast 2-push here, as Quelly is all the way up into Generator. Looks like they are calling for the rotation as Elk takes out Quelly. They have started their rotation over to 2 side, as there's now 3 people on the 2 side. Naka is playing by himself on 1 and 1 person watching mid, as it looks like they're starting their rotation back over to 2 side. Quelly, Kempa is looking over mid, trying to get some people that are doing that rotation, but Naka is taking out Supercake, and Area taking out Kempa, which is going to be a big help to WildPlay. C4 all by himself, Mr. Gold holding it. Looks like Gold is going to be stuck, as Area is going to hear him coming through mid. As Area is going to take a quick peek through there, knowing that Kempa's down. be a little more aggressive. But Area taking out Gold just as expected, and Scythe's taking out Epi on 2 site, but it's going to be to no avail as C4 is now down inside their base. They're going to call it out and the rotation has started. Elk is going to see if he can get this pick. And he does on Scythe as he was trying to come out at 2 site. And WildPlay taking the round 2-1.
Looks like Crackheads is putting 4 rifles on 1, so maybe they will hard push it this time. I'm not sure. Kempa watching over the middle again. But no, they are spreading out again. Eretics rotating over towards 1, and Epi is pushing the generator to make sure they don't come to 2. While Quelly tries to push up the middle, trying to flank. If he can take down Zal, it would be very nice for him. And Zal takes down Quelly. And Kempa takes out Zalk. And now WildPlay has the C4, so in a 4v2 situation, Kempa and Scythe need to clutch this. It looks like they didn't notice that the C4 is down.
Looks like Area actually missed Kempa coming out of the 1 connector, so they're not going to expect Kempa here.
Scythe with a nice double kill over there. Kempa picking up C4 and working his way towards 1.
Wow,
I don't think they know that C4's down.
No, they
Epi's still on 2.
It was looking horrendously bad for Crack just like 30 seconds ago, and now it's completely in their hands.
It's amazing that 3 WildPlay players didn't spot the bomb there.
Nice quick scope by Kempa.
Amazing round.
Scythe and Kempa carrying their team to the
really
win.
going huge for their team, man. Both halves.
Looks like Crackhead's going to be doing another 1 push, as they are aggressively pushing this with 4 rifles. Oh no, they are opting to stay back a little bit, throw some nades and smokes down. Trying to get some picks on the 1 side as Kempa is watching over that generator side, making sure that the flank is clear. Quelly through the smoke getting Nakas. Very nice shot as he red named him as Kempa takes out Elk, leaving the mid perfectly open for Scythe. He's going to be pushing this flank, and it looks like it's going to be a 1 push. Scythe's coming in from the flank now. Going to be catching Area off guard, takes him out, takes out 2 people. Explo goes down as well as Epi takes out Kempa, but not enough to answer to Scythe. Scythe gets a big 3k, getting that flank kill, putting Crackheads in the lead of 3-2.
Crackheads doing the first round strat again. 3 rifles towards 1. Explo with appointment was trying to push, but he gets taken out by Gold. Now it's 3 rifles on 1 for WildPlay and 3 rifles at 1 for Crackheads. Let's see who can get the pick. Kempa and Scythe working their way towards 2. Taking out Zalk. And now Crackheads will probably just rotate. As they know that 2 is secured now, since Epi played the whole match at 2, so they know it's clear. They will just plant it. Just checking out if it's clear. Quelly getting a kill on Nakas. And C4 is going down. Eretics 1v5 from Generator. Let's see if he can do this. But Kempa checks it and takes him out.
Return to main base.
Well, Crackheads not going down with the fight. Looks like Crackheads is going for the win here as They are taking a pretty strong lead here, 4-2 in the second half. Kempa and Sipes working up the generator side as the C4 seems to be working through mid over to 2. Defensive smokes going down on the one side as the WildPlay team is playing a 2-1-2 strat. Not a lot of nades on one as they are starting to expect something as Kempa comes out and Elk takes out Kempa. 2 people on each side as they're trying to fend off this crackhead push. Nak is spotting Quelly just the shoulder and trying to take a couple shots. Fails to hit him. As the C4 looks like it is starting to come over to one side now. Gold taking out Area, but Naka's kicking out Quelly with a nice headshot. Super Cake answering back and taking out Naka's. A free set on one side it is a now 2v3 situation in favor of Crack. Epi taking some hits down mid as he's starting to push down the one porch. Takes out the lit Gold. Starting his push into one side as they're both going down the barrel side. Epi takes out the guy on site. Elk watching over the defense. Sife's got a lot of work to do here now. And Sife's taking out both of them, but unable to get him before he defuses. That will be a WildPlay round, and they will be 2 more rounds away from winning the grand finals here.
WildPlay with a little bit of luck, getting that round. And Crackheads is doing the same again, going towards one but not too aggressive, trying to get the picks. And if they see that there are too many players at one, they just rotate to 2, that's what they do every round. Zalk taking down Gold. Quelly taking out Nakas.
Бросаю гранату! Граната противника!
Oh.
And we have a DC, so it looks like we will have to restart.
Okay, so we are arriving back from the technical difficulties. It's 4-3 in favor of Crackheads here. Elk taking some hits on the one side as he's starting to come back into side for some more defense. Epi all by himself on 2. He's not going to get much problems there as looks like the Crackheads team is starting to work back towards 2. Kimpa very deep in mid as he's going to see if he can get some picks off. Looks like he's going to run into Elk here. Nice shot on Elk. Kimpa falling back. Looks like they're starting to work back over to 2 as Epi's all by himself inside the 2 site. Super Cake running to area. Getting flanked actually. And Super Cake with a nice 2K in mid. Bringing it over to 2 site. It's a 1v4 situation, but they just nade called Epi all by himself on the 2 site. So it looks like they're going to bring C4 back over to 1 site, not taking any chances. They're going to get a free set on 1 site. 1v3 situation now. Epi in a bad spot. He's all the way at the 2 side by himself.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Epi's still got a decent amount of health and armor, but no helmet. So one headshot could be the end of him. Getting nade called and pre-fired, but Super Cake getting a nice 3K on that round.
Return to main base.
Making it 5-3 in favor of Crackheads.
Crackheads just needs 1 more round to win, and WildPlay needs 2. Crackheads doing the same strat again. Going slowly towards 1, not too aggressive. Kimpa watching over the middle, and Size going towards 2. Zalk kills Mr. Gold. WildPlay is very spread out. Naka's in the middle, 2 rifles at 2. Eratix and Zalk at 1. But Crackheads is not peeking yet, so WildPlay can't know where they are.
I think this is the first round that Epi's not been on the 2 site.
Yeah, they switched positions over there. Epi wasn't doing too good last match, so that's why Explo replaced him on 2. Kempa and Sives working away on the stairs, trying to get 2. Kempa hard scoping, trying to get a pick. Sives covering him, and Quelly covering the rotate. If Epi going to peek this, he will go down most likely. Just throwing a nade and not peeking, which is very smart. Kempa falling back because he can't get that pick. Quelly is coming towards him so they can prepare on pushing 2.
I got one.
Taking down Mekas. In the middle now. Falling back again because they know they have to push, so with only 40 seconds left.
Fire in the hole!
Pushing in. Explo and Epi against Quelly and Kempa. Explo taking down Quelly, so Kempa is alone with 20 seconds. Missing the shot. Trying to block. Getting 1 kill. Lits up Epi but gets taken down.
Return to main base.
So it's 5-4.
So it looks like the Crackheads team is again doing that very passive strat and bringing C4 over to 1. 3 rifles over at that 1 side.
This is really important round because it will be either overtime or win for WildPlay.
Бросаю гранату! Бросаю гранату!
Changing magazines.
Crackheads setting up a line formation as there's 3 people over by the 1, Kempa in mid and Sives all the way at the gen side. Quelly throwing a nade over, trying to get a pick, trying to work something out of this 1 side so they can push it properly. Defensive smokes going down on the inside track. Making sure that they don't get picked by Kempa. Elk taking out Kempa, that's going to be a big help for WildPlay, as they can now not worry about getting picked by that infamous Kempa scope. Naka's taking out Quelly on the outside track as it's all of a sudden a 3v5 situation in favor of WildPlay. Super Cake with C4 and Mr. Gold taking it over to 2 side as Sives has the 2 stairs. Looks like they are expecting a 2, so a defensive smoke was thrown down as Sives is hugging that wall, trying to get past it. Taking out Epi in the process. Looks like the rotation has started for the defensive team. They're starting to go into the 2 side as it's 3 people on site 2 now. C4 is going to be set as Elk is watching over the front of 2. 3 people on site with a 3v3 situation. Smoke's going down because that scope is still up. And Area trying to work this top 2 stairs with Sives on the bottom 2 stairs. Naka's going to be coming in, running into Sives, getting taken out by Sives. Now a 2v3 situation as Area takes out Super K. Elk takes out Sives. Mr. Gold all by himself on site. Takes out Area, takes out Elk. Nice clutch. And that's going to be GG as Crackheads take second half and the first map.
I guess it's overtime.
Okay, so we are going to complete this map. Apparently Crackheads has not fully won the map. They are tied on this map on a, let's see, that'll be a 10-10 draw. So we're just going to play this map once again. First to 3 wins will win it. And then we will switch sides again. So it looks like WildPlay is starting another 1 push as they have done in the past. A strong push into the 1 side as Kempa takes out Naka. Kempa holding off that 1 as best as he can. Getting lit up by nades as there's only 2 defenders on the 1 side. They have the rotation completely cut off. Mr. Gold and Kimpa trying to hold off one. Quelly working the flank. Is he going to run into area here in just a moment? He does. Lits up area. Quelly not taking any hits at all. Gold taking out the offending scope as he gets picked off, trying to reload, and Explo taking out Kimpa as well. Quelly all by himself at the flank, and Sipes coming in from the base side as Sipes takes out Explo. Quelly on the inside track with the C4 right beside him. All of a sudden it's a 1v2 situation. Epi stuck in a little corner in the one site. Gets nade called on site, so they do know where he is. Sipes and Quelly playing a very nice crossfire strat here, as Quelly's looking on the right side and Sipes is looking on the left. Epi just waiting, hoping for someone to come peek him, but looks like Quelly and Sipes is not going to move. That's a very strong spot to be in. Epi choosing to go on the barrel side. He's going to run into Quelly's crossfire. Is he looking at the stairs? Gets hit. Spits that 1-2, and Sipes timing it perfectly, taking out Epi, as the first round of the overtime for this map will go to Crackheads.
Once again, WildPlay pushing hard towards one with Explo on top as the point man. Super Cake gets taken down by KB. Nice support by KB there. Take out Kimpa.
I think WildPlay should have some kind of alarm for Kimpa going down to one of their bullets. Because that automatically means that they don't have to worry about one of the strongest members on Crackhead team.
Zalk taking down Mr. Gold. WildPlay is very spread out. Super Cake takes down Zalk, and so it's 2v3. WildPlay, it's not very nice for them. Super Cake and Epi gonna meet up here. Nak is going to support Epi and trying to make a push into one. Next is checking that middle, trying to get a pick, but gets lit up. He's coming towards one, but he was on map, so Crackheads knows that they're coming to one. Supports down. Gets taken down by Super Cake.
Return to main base.
And that's 2-0 to Crackheads.
Yeah, Crackheads starting very strong.
Looks like WildPlay is choosing to do another fast one strat as they usually do. Explo going over to the gen side, maybe being able to push a flank here, but Kimpa gonna probably be watching over the 2 side. They are holding off. They have been very successful on the 1 site for Crackheads, defending it, as they only have 2 people on site now. Kimpa coming back over to the purge, possibly looking over mid. Yes, he will check mid to make sure there's no flank. 4 people starting to push into 1 site here. Super Cake taking out Epi, as it's now a 3v2 situation on the 1 site. Neka's taking out Super Cake. There's only 1 defender left on 1, but Kimpa and Gold and Quelly cleaning up the rest of the side, making it a 3-0 round sweep for Crackhead.
Crackheads needs only 1 round now to win. 1 successful push and they win it.
Alright, so we are starting the second half of the overtime on this first map. This time Crackheads being on the defense, trying to answer, or sorry, Crackheads on the offense, trying to push through the WildPlay defense. All they need is one round in order to take this overtime and the map and force it to a overall overtime. Looks like Crackheads doing their normal strat of playing very slow, trying to get the picks on the sites accordingly and then push them. Lots of defensive smokes going down as they don't want to get picked by Kimpa, but Nakaz won't be able to be saved by those smokes since he gets picked out at 2 connect. Kimpa working up mid, Area taking out gold on the outside track. Looks like C4 is going to be starting to be brought over to 2 side as Kimpa and Sipes is working out on the outside track of 2. Epi all by himself on the 2 side, about to be surrounded as Quelly is making his rotation as well. It's going to be turning out into a 1v2 situation here on the 2 side. Epi all by himself. Epi looks like he's called out for help as Area and Alk are pushing the flank. Epi all by himself on the 2 side, getting naded and nade called in as well. Sice pushing onto site, getting taken out by Epi. Now all of a sudden it's Kimpa versus Epi here. And Supercake. And Kimpa getting lit up. Supercake taking out Epi as they will get a set on 2. It's a 3v2 situation in favor of the WildPlay team. Unable to set because they have already gone to the front of 2 side. WildPlay in a good position here. They don't really need to push. They know that they still have to get the set down as Kimpa gets taken down. A 1v3 situation for Super. Full health and full armor. He may be able to pull this out of something. Just needs to make sure that he gets that scope out. Throwing a bad smoke. Not looking good for him right now. They still don't need to push him. He still needs to get that set down. Looks like he's going to be going for frags, but getting crossfired way too hard as Area takes him out and wins 1 round for the WildPlay team.
Crackheads is doing a split. No, the standard strat again, but this time Kimpa is coming with him towards 1, trying to pick. 4 players of Crackheads working towards 1. All 5 players of Crackheads are in front of 1. Just Supercake watching the 2 connector. Kimpa taking down Nakas. Ariatex takes down Sides. Self takes down Gold and Kimpa takes down Ariatex. So it's 3 on 3. Crackheads is not pushing forward. They're just waiting for some more picks. Kimpa is taking the lead. Quelly covering him. Kimpa is moving inside. And Epi takes down Quelly. Kimpa takes down Epi. It's a 2v2. Kimpa fall back. Gets taken out by Xalk. Supercake is alone against Explo and Xalk. So takes down Xalk. Will plant now. Explo gonna hear that. And now let's see who can win this, because you have to be a little bit lucky in a 1v1. They're gonna meet up. Explo is very lit now. Both on map. And Supercake takes down Explo, and so they win this map.
So now this will officially be Crackhead's map. The map scores are tied 1-1, and we will be going to an overtime map of 6 sides each. Unless I'm corrected here. It is 6 sides.
Just the second map now. But I have to go now, so see you later.
Alright, we will see. Goodbye to Dirty, and thank you for Shoutcast.
No problem.
As we're going to be set here for the 3rd map, or the 3rd point of WildPlay vs Crackheads. as it's going to be hammer blow. Looks like we're going to have WildPlay on the NRF side and Crackheads on the attack. Alright, so we are loading into the third and final map. WildPlay versus Crackheads. Crackheads taking that cannon map through overtime. So we're going to see WildPlay here starting on the defense and Crackheads starting on offense. It's going to be a best of 6 on each half. Oh, sorry, best of 11, first to 6. So again, Crackheads playing slow, trying to get those picks on site so they can push them properly. As all eyes are again on Kimpa, one of the strongest members on the Crackheads team.
Fire in the hole!
No real confrontations just yet, as the WildPlay team has opted to leave the warehouse open. Lots of smokes going down at the entrance of one, as they don't want to get picked by the Kimpa scope. Quelly doing some pre-firing over the one door, making sure that he doesn't get picked off. Each team really feeling each other out right now. They don't know exactly how each team is playing, so lots of pre-fire, lots of pre-nades.
Fire in the hole!
Just trying to get something to happen, but WildPlay playing quite deep on site. They won't get picked off too easily here. So we get a Crackhead gathering at the front of one site. Area finally taking out Kimpa. That's a good start for the WildPlay team, but Supercake taking out XL, so both scopes are down now. Looks like Crackhead's team has started their rotation over to 2 site, as Sipes has taken down Explo at DD, and Sipes taking out Nakas at DD as well, clearing out the way for the DD push. Looks like they have started getting the C4 inside. Supercake about to set the C4 on 2 side. It is a 2v2 situation. Quelly taking out area and about to run into Epi. Quelly very lit. He has to back out, making sure that he keeps this 1v2 situation. Supercake on site by himself, and Quelly inside warehouse jumping around. Epi knows that, so he's going to push into 2 site here, trying to get the guy off site. Epi's not going to be able to do much here, as he's just going to get whittled down by Supercake and Quelly, as the first round will go to Crackheads. Crackheads again doing the same strat, as they're going to be putting 3 people on the 1 ramp with Kimpa and 2 people working the other side, Gold and Scythe.
Бросаю гранат!
Fire in the hole!
Looks like WildPlay has chosen to put 1 person inside warehouse to make sure that doesn't get taken.
Бросаю гранат!
While there's still 3 people around the 1 site, making sure that doesn't get run over just yet. Naka's coming out of the DD, not going to meet anyone. As Crackheads has done the same thing, they're starting to gather around the front of 1 site. Kimpa's starting to trying to work the front, trying to work the picks on site. Tagging up Alk, as Alk will fall into 1 site. Kimpa still unharmed, starting to work up mid long, or sorry, 1 long. Quelly trading some shots with Nakaz, but it won't be too much damage as he starts to fall back and starts to work up that one long. Gold taking out Elk as he tried to peek out of one site. Two people stuck on two by themselves versus a 5-man army of Crackheads. Looks like Sipes is going to be pushing into one here pretty soon as they know one person has been taken off of the one site. Epi watching that door as Expo is still inside the warehouse. Not sure exactly what he's doing there. Ariatics is watching the back door. Looks like they are starting their push into one as Epi takes out two. Area takes out three. Kimpa all by himself inside the one site. Quelly coming back into sight trying to help him. Kimpa missing that shot on the gen. Very odd. Actually tagging him. My apologies. Ariatics going down. Kimpa inside by himself still. Quelly, sorry, coming into sight now all by himself. C4 is still not set. Quelly in 1v2 situation trying to take over the site. Taking down Epi. Half health, half armor. 7 seconds to set. 6 seconds. Going to go for the set. But Explo taking him out as he was trying to recover from that C4 set and taking the round 1-1. Looks like WildPlay is going to be playing the same strat, keeping 3 people on the one side and 2 people on the 2 side. NECA is playing very aggressive over on that DD side. Trying to catch someone off guard as they try and peek it. Quelly's going to peek it a little bit. NECA is going to get the heck out of there because he doesn't want to get picked and lose that DD. Three-man army of Crackheads trying to work up the one ramp, getting some picks and defended by the Kimpa scope. Kimpa is trying to work another pick on side one. Getting hit a couple times as won't do too much damage to him, but he'll just run away unscathed. Kimpa missing his shots and then paying the price as he gets naded in front. Crackhead's losing 2 members as Sipes tries to push through the DD. And it looks like they have 2 secured now, so they are going to call for that C4 rotation, a 3v3 situation as Quelly is looking over that container trying to cut off the rotation. Elk takes off Sipes inside sight as Quelly is playing a little, trying to get the C4 onto site. It's a 2v2 situation now.
Charge set.
Ariatics trying to get on site, but not enough to answer to Super Cake's para. 1v2 situation as Quelly meets up with Epi. And just not enough to answer to that crossfire of Crackheads as Crackheads take this round 2-1. Kimpa this time. And the Crackheads team is starting to do a 2 push here. Looks like WildPlay has opted to put 2 people inside the warehouse. I believe Crackheads has seen that they've won 2 rounds on the 2 side, so they are going to start pushing this a little more. One person has run out of warehouse, leaving 1 defender inside the warehouse. Not knowing that the Crackheads team is actually all gathered up at the 2 ramp. Mr. Gold to take out Nakas, and that'll be enough to signal the WildPlay rotation as they have started their rotation back to 2. Expo trying to hold the DD, but getting taken out by Kimpa's flash nades. Super Kick taking out Elk, as that's going to make it a 2v5 situation now. C4 is going to have an easy set as the WildPlay team is trying to recover from that quick 2-man loss. C4 is getting set on the 2 side as Epi and Ariatics are trying to make this round, take this round into WildPlay's favor. Quelly gonna meet up with Ariatics. It's a very odd place to be, trying to get the flank on Ariatics, but Ariatics smart to it, tries to push the DD and dies. Sipes taking out both of the players and making a 3-1 Crackhead. Starting to see some floating boxes on my screen, very odd, as the Crackheads is taking a very strong lead here as 3-1. WildPlay deciding to play the same strat as Elk starts to get lit up at the front of one site. Kimpa almost getting taken out by that rush nade, ending his round very early, but ran out of the way. Mr. Gold getting a pick on Ariatics on the 2 site. So, not sure if Crackheads is going to want to take that 2 site or not. Elk inside site trying to get a pick on front of 2, while Sipes and everyone else is starting their rotation over to 2 site. Super K getting a nice pick on Elk. Sipes going through the DD as Epi takes out Mr. Gold, who's already pushed out of the container. Epi's probably going to start calling for a rotation. Explo inside 1 by himself as Quelly is starting to creep up the 1 long. Naka's inside warehouse trying to make a play off of coming back into 2, but gets picked off by Sipes, waiting for him at the entrance of 2 site. C4 is starting to go down as Kimpa and Quelly take out both Epi and Explo, making it 4-1 in favor of Crackhead.
Бросаю гранату.
So it looks like the Crackheads team is going back to their first round strat as 3 people are starting to push this 1 ramp and 2 people will be playing the mid and warehouse. WildPlay also playing almost their same strat, only 1 person holding the 1 container this time. Maybe trying to get that early scope push as Kimpa seems to like to do. Mr. Gold trading some shots with Nakas with the DD. As Kimpa is starting to creep up here, trying to get his pick as he usually does. Quelly making sure he gets covered from that flank. Epi getting a nice 2K on the bridge, taking out Kimpa in the process, so that's going to be a big help to the WildPlay team as Ariatics takes out Syphes inside the warehouse, making it a 2v5 situation in favor of WildPlay. Supercake by himself and Gold putting some work inside the warehouse. Supercake with a nice headshot on Elk, making it a 3v2 situation now. Mr. Gold regrouping with Supercake on the front of 1 site. Supercake getting lit up as Mr. Gold decides to pick up the scope. Getting naded in the process as Explo gets a nice nade on Mr. Gold. Supercake all by himself, pretty lit. Gonna pass Explo as he's still pretty heavily guarded. Epi coming out of that 1 site and getting the easy frag on him, making it a 4-2 game. Still in favor of Crackheads, but WildPlay has a lot of work to come back from this.
Бросаю гранату. Впереди граната.
Explo narrowly missing that rush nade as it looks like Crackheads has opted to put 3 people inside mid this time. Naka's seeing 1 guy going to the red container, probably called it out, so it looks like Explo is trying to get him, but getting taken out by Mr. Gold. Looks like C4 is going to be still working over to the 1 side as Explo gets a nice frag on Kimpa. That's going to be a lot. And Explo getting another kill, which is going to be a good 2 frag for him. 3v2 situation in favor of Crackheads now. Sorry, 3v3 now. As Gold starts to trade some shots with Ariatics, but Ariatics gets taken out in the process by Syphes of flank. Mr. Gold starting to push into the containers now. 3v2 situation for Crackheads. C4 is in sight now, getting into the containers. Epi getting taken down by Supercake's power up. Elk all by himself, 1v3 situation. C4 about to get set down.
Charge set.
Mr. Gold waiting to peek the scope at the appropriate time. It's gonna happen pretty soon here. Elk, I think he sees the shoulder, maybe not. No, Elk did not hit him. Elk's still by himself over there. Still missing shots, and Gold is trying to scare him off maybe a little bit. Elk missing another shot, gets into the container, trying to switch to a rifle, but taken out by Superkick.
Return to main base.
Unfortunate for Elk, as he did not have enough manpower to push that 2 side back, and Crackhead's taking another demanding lead of 5-2.
Fire in the hole!
Mr. Gold trading some shots with Epi as the Crackheads team is spread out quite a bit now. Kimpa still on that one ramp, trying to make something happen again on the one side. So it looks like Quelly's going to be creeping up the 2 ramp here. Getting spotted by someone on the 2nd floor of Warehouse. Syph is going to see if he can pick him off. Looks like he's going to try and shoot for feet as he doesn't get him and gets taken out by Nakas in the process. Elk taking out Kimpa, which is a big 2K for the WildPlay team as they're going to try and take this round now. It is a 2v5 situation with C4 still down. It's going to be picked up pretty soon here by Quelly. Explo finishing off Quelly and Super Cake taking out Epi. Super Cake with the scope now. Trying to make something happen of a 1v4 situation. Still high health and high armor. WildPlay isn't going to be peeking him though, knowing that he has a scope. Super Cake picking up the C4 now finally. Trying to work his way back through to the red container, but Naka's taking him out with the flank, making it 5-3, still in favor of Crackhead. So it looks like they are going to be doing they are going to be stressing the 2 side as Super Cake is going to be throwing some nades out. Maybe lucky to get some frags and they can do their rotation. Two people inside Warehouse again for WildPlay as they try and get some frags and most importantly try and take out Kimpa. Not the nade they wanted, but that's going to help as Ariatics takes out Mr. Gold. Kimpa in the mid might be meeting up with Ariatics as he's in a very strong position. But Kimpa with the extremely nice shot on Area takes him out. Wow, that's just an amazing shot by Kimpa. As it looked like Ariatics had Kimpa, but Kimpa again just turning it in his favor. As the Crackheads team is just sitting in mid, just waiting on those picks. Maybe someone to peek out and they can easily grab his frag. Kimpa looking onwards into the DD side. As 2 WildPlay players are now going over into the 2 site, dropping the Warehouse cover. Looks like the Crackheads team, my apologies, are starting to drift over towards the 2 site. C4 has actually reset back to the base. That's not going to be good for Crackheads. They're going to have to go back all the way in order to get that. Or they can go for frags, which looks like what Kimpa's going to be doing here. He's pushed up aggressively into the container. Going to be catching one of these guys off side. But Epi taking out Kimpa in the containers. Epi taking out Quelly as well. Super Cake all by himself in the base. This is a very bad position for him to be as he still has to set the C4 and contend with 3 WildPlay players. Going to be making a lot of noise in order to get that set. He's going to be running up to 1 ramp, going to 1 site. It's not going to be contested until he meets up with possibly Explo. Yes, he's going to meet up with Explo. Taking him down, but not able to answer to Elk's scope as WildPlay gets 1 round closer to tying this first half up. So Crackhead's going to be pushing the mid again, or holding the mid, my apologies, and rotating over to the red container as Kimpa is most likely going to be doing his work on the 1 ramp. So it looks like Crackheads are going to be stressing this 1 side again. 2 people have rotated from mid all the way to the red container.
Grenade straight ahead.
Kimpa trying his best to get a pick on site. Will he get some feet? Most likely not.
Fire in the hole.
Gonna be meeting up with the Elk scope here, though. Kimpa missing this feed of Elk.
Fire in the hole!
Trying to get that pick so they can push into the site. And Elk taking out Kimpa. Because he knew he was lingering around the front entrance of 1. Just waited for him to get into the scope, as looks like the Crackheads team is going to start their rotation, maybe. No, Sipes is coming back. Looks like they are going to be trying to continue getting their picks on the one side here. NECA is holding the warehouse with Ariatics, but that's not going to be very useful, as the entire Crackheads team is now surrounding the one site. One side in trouble here, as they're going to be starting their push very shortly. Mr. Gold taking a peek out into base, as Welly getting taken out by Explo, covering that flank, but Sipes coming out with a huge 2K on site. Elk taking out Sipes all by himself versus the C4, but takes out Super Kick as well. Looks like Mr. Gold is up against area and getting taken out. And WildPlay tying up this overtime map. 5-5.
Huge comeback from WildPlay.
Very nice. And now it's all of a sudden a 1-round game to take this first half. WildPlay not giving up. Looks like they are going to be starting their rotation. Everyone's rotating over to 2. Going to be a huge battle on 2 site. Elk taking out Mr. Gold, as the DDs is starting to get pushed. Quelly taking out... Sorry, there's just so much action. I don't know how to contend with this. It's a 2v3, 1v2. Quelly by himself needs to get this round. Getting lit up. It's a 1v1 situation. Epi and Quelly about the same HP. C4 is going to be getting set, as Quelly heard the jumps of Epi and he judged it far enough that he could safely set the C4. Interesting play by Epi. He should have stayed closer to C4 in order to catch him off guard. Now he's working against a clock of 20 seconds. Epi's got to take out Quelly in order to get this defuse. I highly doubt he's going to be able to ninja this, as Quelly is working his way down to the first floor of 2. Epi looks like he's... No, he's not going to ninja. He's going to be taking some shots from Quelly, as Quelly's just jumping around and monkeys his way to the win, as Crackheads take the first half of this overtime map, 6-5. Alright, so we are on the second half of the overtime map. Just a reminder that Crackheads has actually won the first map very close. WildPlay will have to make sure that they win this half by a score of 6 to at least 5, if I'm not mistaken yet, in order to force it to an overtime. As long as Crackheads does not win this map, they will be able to take this and the grand finals. So it looks like Crackheads has started to put 2 people inside warehouse, and Quelly watching over the red container, taking a couple of hits as he starts to fall back. Looks like the WildPlay team is starting to push up the 1 ramp, as Quelly is starting to take a bunch more hits, falling back into the 1 site. 3 people now on 1 side for the Crackhead team, as Mr. Gold is electing to hold the warehouse all by himself, including the 2 ramp. And Super Cake holding the DD. Kimpa taking out Elk, as the offensive scope is now down. Ariatics looks like he's going to be wanting to push into the warehouse, as Super Cake's just making sure that no one's at the DD, throwing a flash nade in there. Explo trading some shots with Sipes as Sipes fall back, and Kimpa making sure that he's fully covered. Crackheads playing very spread out right now, as it is a 4v5 situation. Mr. Gold watching that 2 ramp very closely, taking some shots and having to fall back. C4 and 3 other WildPlay players are still on the front of 1 as Kimpa takes out Ariatics, reducing the numbers by 1. It's now a 3v5 situation as everyone from WildPlay is grouping at the front of 1. Looks like they are going to be starting to push the one side as they are running extremely low on time. Kimpa getting another frag on 3Ed. Epi trying to take out Kimpa, but not going to be able to do so. Takes out Quelly instead. Epi running in for the frag. Trying to take out Kimpa. It's successful in taking out Kimpa. Now it's a 2v3 situation. Epi doing some more work on Sipes. Trying to get the third frag for his for this round. Takes the third frag. Fourth frag actually. Epi looking to get his ace. Both teams of WildPlay are extremely lit. So is Mr. Gold. He looks like to be one hit. Epi playing the C4 as he gets the ace, completing the ace. A 5-man ace for Epi on Crackhead. Nicely played by the WildPlay team and supporting Epi in getting his ace. I think that's the first ace we've seen here in the grand final or the semifinals included. As there's going to be action early as Mr. Gold takes out Explode, but Ariatics taking out Mr. Gold in the process, leaving Supercake all by himself inside Warehouse. Ariatics electing to fall back and go into the mid as C4, it looks like it's going to be going over to the 2 side. Alk and Naka is working the front of 1. Alk being extremely aggressive on the long of 1. Trying to take out Quelly as he's going to be peeking out here in just a moment. Alk going to be running into Quelly. Lits up Quelly. Quelly being one hit away from dropping the 1 cover as Kimpa comes over to the aid of Quelly. Kimpa now going to be playing extremely aggressive, taking out the 1 person in front of 1. Alk getting lit up. Quelly pushing out, taking out Alk. Epi taking out Quelly in the process. Looks like it's now a 3v2 situation in favor of Crackheads, but Kimpa just showing his scope dominance takes out Ariatics at DD, and now it's all of a sudden 1v3 in favor of Crackhead. Epi's got a lot of work to do, but he's got full health and full armor, so anything's possible at this point. There's only 1 person defending one side as Kimpa's defending at the base. Epi choosing to take the FR and maybe get a quick pick inside the 1 site. Hearing some footsteps, he's probably going to start calling out for backup. Supercake is starting his rotation over. 1 person inside, deep inside 1. Trying not to get picked and is successful in doing so, taking out Epi is Sipes and putting Crackheads in the lead, tie for 1-1. Looks like Crackheads is going to be playing a 2-1-2 strat now as the WildPlay team has fully spread out. Outplaying aggressive on the 1 ramp, but getting extremely lit up in the process. Explo working the bottom of 2 ramp. Probably going to run into Mr. Gold here in just a moment. Or sorry, that's not Mr. Gold, that's Supercake. But Supercake is going to miss him. Getting taken out by the Kimpa scope as he was looking over the 2 side barrels. And Mr. Gold taking out Ariatics at the sandbags. Or at the entrance of Warehouse as C4 is still working over to the 2 side entrance. Mr. Gold taking out Nakas in the process, and Epi is all by himself with C4 as Elk is trying to work the front of 1. Most likely they're trying to bring the C4 over to the 1 side as Elk is trying to work a pick on the 1 side. Defensive smokes being thrown down at the front of 1 site, trying to make sure that they don't get picked as Epi decides to start working this DD. And a nice frag on Kimpa as Kimpa goes down to a set nade. Elk taking out Quelly inside of 1. Looks like 1 defender on 1, Sipes being one of the strongest rifles on the Crackhead team. Elk looking down 1 long as it looks like Epi's probably going to have to push his site by himself. He has C4. Mr. Gold going to run into the scope here in just a moment. missing the shot. Gold's going to successfully get into sight. Now there's two defenders on one. Epi still deciding to push into sight as Sipes is left by himself on the one side. Sipes taking out the enemy scope as Epi is now in one side all by himself. It is a 1v2 situation, so Sipes and Supercake just going to make sure that they surround the site and then push in after this bomb is set or while the bomb is set. Epi needs to take a frag out here before he can properly set because he knows he's going to get surrounded. Decides to go for the set instead. It's going to be extremely risky. Sipes is hearing it. Looks like they have started pushing into the site. They know he's at the far side of tank. Sipes going down to Epi's XM8. And Epi, now 1v1 situation, going against Supercake's Para. Playing a little bit of a ring around the rosy around the tank, and Supercake coming out on top as he gets the frag on Epi, getting the free defuse and making it 2-1 in favor of Crackheads.
Charge defused. Operation success. Return to main base. Your efforts
So Dead Brand has been called. We're going to continue on this map as soon as the map loads back in and everyone's connected properly. Alright, so we are going to be recovering from the dead round called. It is 1-2 in favor of the Crackhead side. We're going to see the Kimpa and Elk still being on the scope.
Бросаю гранату! Бросаю гранату!
So it looks like we have the WildPlay team putting a 3-man onto the 1 ramp. Playing very slow on there in order to avoid any rush nade. Probably going to be able to catch Naka's a little off guard and lits him up. Going up against the second opponent and lidding him up as well. Quali getting taken out by Explo as they successfully pinched him at the red container. Now there's 5 members of the WildPlay team over at the entrance of 1. So Gold's going to be shifting out of Warehouse, trying to push this flank. Sipes getting the frag on Explo, getting the frag on L. And not being able to complete his 3K as he will fall back into sight. 3 members of WildPlay still at the front of 1 with their scope down and 3 rifles. Not sure exactly what they're going to try and do. Looks like Aria's just making sure that they don't get flanked, but Gold takes out Ariatics trying to cover that flank. 2 people in front of the 1 side all by themselves. 2v3 situation as Nakas takes out Sipes with a scope. Looks like they're trying to get rid of their flank as Epi and Nakas are trying to make sure that Mr. Gold doesn't push up too far from the red container. Epi gonna run to Gold as he takes him out, getting extremely lit in the process. Supercake making his rotation over to the 2 side, and C4 and Nakas is holding over at the red container. Starting to run extremely low on time. Within 30 seconds, they have to make a move to one of these sites. Not sure if it's the best of choices to be splitting up right now, but the C4 is going to 2 ramp by himself. Getting taken out by Supercake at the DD. C4 is down. It's a 1v2 situation for Naked. Pushing into 1, just getting the frag on Kimpa. It's not going to be enough as he's going to run out of time and the round is going to go to Crackhead.
Return to main base.
3-1 in favor of Crackhead. Looks like the Crackheads team again playing very wide open, except for the 3-man hold on 1. Four men of WildPlay starting to group up at the front of one. Naka's by himself at the bottom of 2 ramp, trying to make something happen on the one side, as Kimpa is defending that as well on the one side. Elk working down the one long. Not going to expect any peeks from the Crackhead team, as Elk is starting to go to the front door. Might get picked off by Kimpa here, as Kimpa sees him but misses. Elk doesn't exactly know where he's getting shot from, as Kimpa takes out Elk as he peeks again. 4v5 in favor of the Crackhead team, as Sives is playing the blue box, making sure that that back door isn't taken. Smoke's going down on the one long, as people are starting to creep into one. Epi into the front of one side. Quelly taking down area as he tried to push into the one site. Epi by himself on the one side, as Expo is trying to push the one long. He's getting taken out by Sives, and Kimpa taking out Epi in front of one. Naka's all by himself in the mid by the red container. Naka by himself. Trying to put some work into Quelly, but Quelly taking him out.
Operation failure. Return to main base.
It's now a 4-1 advantage for Crackheads, as Crackheads seem to be running away with this half. Mr. Gold spotting one person and unable to capitalize, as he will be forced to fall back. Crackheads now starting the rotation over to the 2 side, as Explo takes out Gold, but Supercake taking out Explo. Elk trying to do some work at the DD, but getting taken out by Quelly. Naka is taking out 2 people on the 2 side. 2v2 situation now. Sives taking out Naka. Epi taking out Sife. It's a 1v1 situation. Epi trying to get the set down. Quelly and Epi at the same HP and armor.
Fire in the hole!
And Epi pulling off the clutch, as
Return to main base. Your efforts are
the
commended.
WildPlay team will come up on top and will make this game a 4-2. And WildPlay playing very aggressively on the warehouse, taking it completely. Explo taking out Mr. Gold as well. Supercake possibly going to be able to... Oh, he's not going to get hit by the nade. Crackheads defending that 2 side, as they're all 5 people have rotated all the way over for WildPlay to the 2 side. Naka's now coming over to the red container. Going to check out 1 to see exactly what the situation is on 2. Quelly looking over that mid connector to the 1 side, and Ariatix takes out Kimpa, which is going to be a big frag for them, as they can now not worry about one of the strongest scope. Elk isn't going to be contested by the Kimpa scope now, so he's going to be looking to get a pick through DD. Sives getting a pick on Ariatix, as the WildPlay team is starting to group over at 1. Quelly getting Explo down. C4 is still going over to 1 side, as 3 people of WildPlay are starting to work down into 1 side. Looks like the scope's going to be trying to get a pick, but Sives makes him pay for the price, and taking out 2 people in turn. Epi all by himself at the front of 1 with C4. Getting lit up by 2 players and going down to Sives XM8. It is now 1-5 in the favor of Crackheads. Crackheads only needing 1 round to secure the victory of the grand final, and getting some payback for that winner bracket loss. Kimpa with the nice quick scope on the point man, as he was trying to rush that ramp. Looks like their rush is going to be stomped, as they have been slowed down a little bit. Nakash and Epi putting some work into Quelly, as Quelly goes down, but Kimpa answering back with the Epi going down. Sive's going to be taking out Naka, as it's a 2v2 situation now. WildPlay's scope still up, trying to get a pick. Don't They don't know that one is actually completely clear. Mr. Gold on 2 by himself. Elk creeping up as Ariatics is going to be bringing C4 over into 1. Elk's missing the frag on Sipes as Sipes takes Elk out. Ariatics all by himself. And Sipes coming up huge.
Return to main base.
And it's going to be GG as Crackheads comes out on top on the grand finals on a very close match versus WildPlay. They will finish first for the October Cup, and WildPlay will finish second, with Bit finishing third. I'd like to take this time to congratulate Crackheads and WildPlay for their tremendous effort and play at this time, an hour of the European CEST time zone. Also take this time to thank all the teams that participated in our October Cup and look forward to bringing you more ESL service in the future. Thank you.